Hi, my friends. A very good evening to you all. I would like to welcome you for our next session during our summer internship program. And today we are talking about script writing. Script writing is something which we as a linguist should know and always try and experiment our language capabilities with new dimensions. We have already covered transcription, content writing, editing, project management, social media marketing. So with all this, now let's move on to a more creative thing that is called script writing. If you like our activities of community learning program, do subscribe to our channel Modlingua and press the bell button for latest updates. Thanks for your time, and let's watch how it goes about script writing. I will start with the basic. What is script writing? Script writing is a wide concept that applies to writing a script for a drama. A script can be written for a television serial. A script can be written for a corporate film. A script can be written for a movie. A script can be written for a school stage play for students. You as a teacher can write a script for your students to make a stage play. In broad, this is something to do with creative writing and staging of those activities, either in the form of a drama or in the form of a movie or a serial. And there are a variety of concepts that come into picture. So how we start with this script writing? How we start, how we do it? What is the script writing? How we go about it? If you do not have any clue, the best thing is to go and Google and watch your favorite movies and try and find out the script for it. Read it twice, thrice, many times as possible. You will have a feel of what script writing is. Don't get worried about how it is going to be produced, how it is going to be done all alone. The first and foremost important aspect of script writing is you should know what you want to do. That means writing a plot, and read aloud, discuss, talk. You can talk to your own self as well. Talk to friends and see how they are reacting. The more feedback you receive, the better you do improvements. Many times, one script writer ends up writing the same script 10 times, 20 times, 100 times at times to make it perfect as per his wish and what he plans to do. So I understand it can be a difficult task for the beginner where to start. So the basic thing is to write, to understand what you plan to do, write down the points and write a plot. For example, I will give you a plot, Suddenly the teacher whose younger son has recently died realizes that he has many sons in his school. So the sadness that he had because of losing his young son suddenly started vanishing because he could relate himself with many other children around in the school who were as equal as his sons. So this is, this gives a plot, number one. It suddenly breaks, the tone. sets the tone of the story, that there is something interesting going on. Something wrong has happened to his son. Suddenly there is a transformation. There is an enlightenment coming. There are people around in the school. So a reader or a writer of the person who is reading the plot will suddenly try and place himself in a situation whereby there are children involved, protagonist as a teacher, and the other side is interaction with the students of a school. So one can develop a plot around this one statement, or a one paragraph or 3-4 lines, and the story begins, and you start writing the script. This is the beginning of script writing. But if we go more deeper, as I've explained to you through Bharat Muni's formula, the first thing is we develop the protagonist. Protagonist must be introduced to the crowd, the people who is listening to him, who is watching him, either in drama or either in a movie, right? And then there comes the conflict. If everything is smooth, it becomes monotonous. So mind has to be a little bit disturbed, and that disturbance comes through creating a conflict in the system of drama we are planning to write about. Because conflict drives drama. If there is no conflict, you will not have a solution. So there has to be a problem. So we create a problem by bringing some anti-social elements into picture. Students getting kidnapped, for example, I have given you a plot. Or somebody, some students becoming more vicious people. They get into drug addiction. The teacher then helps them. Or somebody is being bullied by some crooks. There are always some crook students, they keep on bullying some good people. So he takes on to some of the bullied persons. So such kind of thing creates a little bit of disturbance in your mind, and people who is watching it, then we start looking for solutions. Automatically our mind starts looking for solution. So when we are talking about something creative, we need to think of all these points, and the more unusual points we think of, but it should be synced with the psychology of the people as well, the more better plot we write. So if something people already know, they will not find it very good. But if something which is extraordinary, which we have created through our imagination, people find it interesting, people like it. So there comes the human imagination. Apply that, we as a human can think anything. So now, as I have told you, experts have many times, they say, let's set up the tone of the story. They say there are 3 stages, of writing this story or a drama or a script writing. And there are three acts rather, there are 3 acts. So we have formula of 3 acts. These acts can be independently handled, but when these 3 acts combined, they make a big deal of script writing. So in stage 1, we set up a story and its tone. That can be comedy, that can be action, that can be romance, that can be education as well. Or in our context, it can be a story of a person. For us, we have a personality, coming into picture, or a documentary coming into picture, a story of a person. So we have to make that a story as, good as possible, so that people read it, people think about it, and people appreciate or, creative writing. That is called script writing. In second stage, once we have set up the tone, in second stage, we introduce, in first stage only, we introduce the people, protagonist, begin exploring conflict, as I have told you. And in second stage, those people get into conflict zone. means the problem. And problem can be thrilling, it can be comedy, it can be, pain, it can be sorrow, something disturbing that agitates your mind. And in third stage, we have a resolution, we have a balance. So the more, smartly we play with these three systems or acts, one is setting up the story and its tone, introducing people, protagonist, then there is a conflict, and then we resolve those conflicts. If you see any Indian movie, I'm telling you, you will be happy or shocked to note that all these movies have these three elements: set up the tone and introduction of the protagonist. Many times protagonist, is introduced from helicopter, the person jumps from helicopters on the top. From helicopter, he jumps to the upper part of the building. And then you see his flashing, movie style, walking like, a Casanova kind of a person. These are all, introductory part. And then suddenly he falls down, because some villain shoots him. So he has a, bullet on his leg and he falls down. So the moment we see a person who has, such a heavy introduction in the movie, and suddenly a villain, shooting at him, our mind gets disturbed. So the drama begins, the thrill begins from there. And we get involved into the movie. And at the end of the day, that villain gets caught by police, or he takes revenge. So this is the formula, that comes into picture, which we always, any movie maker keeps into picture. So with this, I will move on to the next, part again. With these all basic information that I have given you on the script writing part, I will revise the same points again, especially for our personality part. Whatever I explained you, it was only for a movie making or a serial making or, TV formula or script writing for a stage play, etc., etc. But for our specific requirement, we can adapt, those points that we have just learned and customize it for our needs. So for example, my need is to do script writing for a personality documentary or a person, as I have explained you, we want to do a story on literary figures, translators, language professors, teachers around us, or someone whom you have read about, or someone who we believe that he or she must be given recognition, but people have not picked him up. You can talk about a Nobel laureate as well, not a problem. So pick up someone whom you believe you will be able to do well on that. So introduce that person, introduction, who that person is, and make it as interesting as possible and set the tone. Once you have set the tone, and if you talk about his lifetime events, some good events, somebody getting married to a, another personality cult, somebody getting married but getting divorced, getting shock of the life, and that shock also results in a very positive mode, shapes a person, emotional being. Similarly, there's people who have done many works, but they are known for one or two, stories. For example, there is a writer called Garcia Marquez from Colombia. He is a Nobel Prize winner. He wrote 100 Years of Solitude, Cien Años de Soledad. If you read that book, it's very interesting, There are people who read that book and try and explore, find out the village that he talks about, Macundo in Colombia. People go there and find that there is no Macundo there at all. So this is how your writer is able to move a person to such an extent that one goes to embassy, takes visa, and goes to that place to see if that village exists or not. Imagine the power of writing, Right? So that way, when we talk about, power of writing, we should think in such a way that people get interested in it, write less, but visualize more. And then after he has done some major works, highlight on one or two key works, For example, I had talked about Garcia Marquez, 100 Years of Solitude. He had done many works, but one is very representative. Similarly, Rabindranath Tagore, he has done many work, but his work like Gitanjali is very famous. Similarly, there are many other Nobel laureates or people around us who have done many things. One or two key, make a story out of that. After you have prepared the script, read aloud, think twice, thrice, 5 times, finalize it, show it to the friends, take opinion, finalize it. If we do this way, I am sure we will be able to produce a very good script writing, which will be a very good experience for you as well as for me, as well as for Modlingua. And after you have prepared this script, believe me, I am going to use all this script to make a movie out of it and put it on YouTube channel. You as a script writer will be given recognition that it is you who have done this script writing. I am only the presenter, of the script writing, or a producer or a director. I'm sure if we could go this way, we will be able to do our work in a very planned way and do well. So welcome to the new world of script writing, my friends. A new beginning in your life begins from today. You can write one script and you can write 10. If you can write one, you can write 10. If you can write 10, you can write hundreds. You can be another person writing Soler script. You can be another person writing Harry Potter script. I want you to explore your strength. Believe me, you just have to break free from the mindset. You will do well. With this, I would like to thank you all for your time. And I hope we will have more in our question answer session. If you have anything, please welcome.